We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. Let's get down to business. I'm your guest host, Elisheva Klein. We are powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com or call 630-928-0510. You can also email them at simplify@tandemhr.com. We are on right now with Moshe Klein. Moshe from Power Networking Radio. Hi, Moshe.
Hi, Ellie. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. I just want to hear all about your networking radio and maybe some tips that you can give us.
Oh, I would love to talk all about that, but before I do, I want to give you a compliment. I want to thank you for your first segment, which was Dressing for Success. I took it very seriously because I realized I was not dressed properly for this radio interview. So quickly after that first segment during the commercial, I changed my clothes, and I want you to know I look super now. I am dressed for a successful interview.
I'm so glad. Thank you for that.
You would be. Sure. But anyway, let's talk about power networking and small business. I think you know that small business runs in our family's DNA. Your husband started working at our family accounting firm when he was 2 years old, and he's never left the business world since then. We bought a vacation home out in Arizona about 2.5 years ago, and the thought was that eventually I would sort of slide gracefully into some kind of a retirement, but, we fell in love with it and decided to make Arizona our primary home. At the same time, I saw that there really was a need for networking, small business networking, and some Chicago-style 21st century networking. And I guess, long story short, I started up, after consulting with your husband, a networking group called Power Networking Group. And it started out very big, and it's gotten much bigger. We now have active chapters, Ellie, in 3 cities, Scottsdale, Maricopa, and Casa Grande. And we have 2 more chapters in formation in Phoenix and Chandler. So it's been a great experience, and we've got hundreds and hundreds of small business people actively networking and really enjoying the experience. It's been a lot of fun.
That's so great. It sounds like it's really exploding over there.
It really is, Ellie. There's a lot of opportunity out here in Arizona, in the Phoenix, Scottsdale, areas, really throughout the state, and they're just drinking it up. You don't realize in Chicago, you've been to 1,000 networking events yourself, and you almost take it for granted. And out here, there's a lot of small business activity, but the networking groups, the chambers of commerce, they're just not as sophisticated. So I was able to just do what I do naturally in Chicago, bring it out here, and it was, thank God, very well received.
That's so great. And so what does networking, let's say, in Chicago look like if people want to go and look for a networking opportunity?
Do you mean in Arizona?
I mean Chicago. Like, for example, you've been here for a long time, and that's what you're bringing over to Arizona. So I'm just curious, what kind of influences you've had, from Chicago that you're bringing over to Arizona.
Oh, sure. Yeah, great question. So one of the things I noticed, every city out here has a chamber of commerce. Some of those chambers of commerce are headed up by people who've been in their job 10, 20, 30 years or more, and they're experienced, seasoned, knowledgeable business professionals, but they're actually trying to stimulate small business activity as though it were still 1995 or even the year 2000. We have new technology, social media, that a lot. I just don't see a lot of what I see in Chicago being put into place and put to work here in Arizona, and I'm trying to, bring that to the forefront.
Like you're trying to do maybe like a speed dating type networking thing over there, right?
Yeah, actually, we have next week on the 17th a huge, the city of Maricopa, Arizona, has partnered with Power Networking Group, and they sponsored a big speed networking event at City Hall. The entire City Hall we expect to be filled up with small business networking partners.
Well, besides
Exactly
the fact
correct.
that it's going to be good networking, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It will be a lot of fun. You've seen speed networking. Personally, it's one of my favorite ways to network. But I think the bottom line, Ellie, to me, it's all about results. When you go to a networking event, you want to walk out, feeling like you met some new networking partners. And I just don't see effective networking the way I saw it in Chicago. And thank God that's changing, and people are embracing it out here.
That's great. So is there any other tips that you want to leave us on that would help us with our networking?
Oh, absolutely. Your husband talks all the time about the importance of every small business owner trying to get out there to network. And a lot of people push back and say to him respectfully, Shalom, it works for you. You're good at it. You're outgoing, but I'm not. And Shalom will say right back, and I say the same thing to everybody, that's exactly the reason. If you're not outgoing, if you're not used to getting out there and meeting people face to face at these type of events, that's exactly the reason why you should get out there. And if you go to one event, you got to go back again to other events to make
All right,
it
great.
work
Thank
for
you so much, Moshe, for joining us.
A pleasure. Thanks, Ellie.